The most entitled guy I met on a dating site. This took place between 2004 to 2005. My sister convinced me to do a Lava Life account thinking no harm. The worst part was my mom decided to play around with my profile as I went to the bathroom. Yeah, dumbest thing I know. During setup she put some of what she thought I was or should be into. So yeah, she told me entered saved and we waited for a few days. There was a few hits and a few misses. Most of the people hitting my profile kind of just turned me off. When I saw what was put I was pissed. My mother attempted to say I was into sports. I wasn't. She did some changes to my profile and claimed it would get me a date. I was pissed off because she didn't trust me to make my own damn decisions on a guy. About a week I got messaged by this one guy. I will call him Eric. He was kind of interesting at least by his photograph. We talked for about a day or two and chose to meet up. He told me to pick the restaurant which I did and also since I was between classes we could meet. We met in front of an Indian restaurant which my parents were friends with the owner. Eric showed up and was starting to give me a bad feeling. He said he didn't like my choice and dragged me to an old Chicago. He paid. I guess I was fine, but was annoyed I was eating a salad instead of a huge pizza. I had to tell him I was in Taekwondo and I needed to go light before class. You would think he would understand, but he said it wasn't a real sport and thought it was weird. I was a bit annoyed, but smiled and thought okay, this is a one date he will leave me alone after he finds we are not a match. Yeah, no, he decided to ask me about some plans for about a week later. I had a convention I was going to. When I told him my plans, he said nowhere on my profile did it say I was a nerd. I explained my mother helped set up and deleted part of my hobbies. He just told me whatever just to cancel my convention's plans to go see a football game with him and his pals. Now I put my foot down and said no. He said since he put forth effort to meet I owed him. I was seriously pissed and left. He paid my bill, but he messaged me via email, which I forwarded to my mother telling her what this guy did. He told me the game time and what he wanted me to get to prepare. I literally ignored him and went to the convention. I had already booked a hotel room and had friends rooming with me. I did not tell them about the Lava Life screw up and moved on. As soon as I got to the hotel my mom called to say Eric was on his way to the hotel. She believed he was joining me for the weekend at the convention. Oh gods, he showed up and looked pissed. He demanded I unbook my room which he said was a waste of money and demand a refund on my badge because we were going to a football game. One of my friends, I will call Scott, who is a peacekeeper and was on security for the con, asked the guy to leave. Of course the guy said I was his girlfriend and I had it. I am not your girlfriend. You should have gotten the hint when I didn't reply to your demands to see a game. I hate football. He got mad and told me he would give me a bad review on the account. I just told him good and Scott made me get on his laptop after the guy left to shut down my account. After the incident I got an email from some guy named Paul who was Eric's friend and ride. He apologized for what happened and hoped I had a good convention because Eric ruined the football game for him and his wife. We should have gone to your convention because you actually sounded like a way better person to hang out with than him. So far Eric was just an entitled asshole who just felt he had to boss me around.